Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Figures of Speech by me, Achal Jain. Few things about me. I am a student of English literature. I am a traveler by heart, a creative soul, a Marvel geek. And after watching the video, don't forget to rate, review, recommend and share. Here we are with new topic based on extension of ideas, and it has personification and hyperbole. We have already learned what figures of speech based on similarities are and what figures of speech based on utterance are. So we will be learning what personification and hyperbole are in this particular video. Let's begin with personification. So personification is a thing or an idea or an animal in a given human, which is given a human attribute in such a way that we feel that they have the ability to act like human being. So let's read this. The sky weeps. Look at my car. Isn't she a beauty? Isn't she? She's a beauty. Isn't she? Isn't it so? The wind whispered through the grass. So in this particular example, the sky weeps. We see the sky is here given the ability to cry, which is a human quality. So thus this sentence is personified. So goes for these two statements. The car here is given the beauty of a human being, and the wind here is given the quality, the ability to whisper like humans. So all these statements are personified. So the representation of the abstract quality of human form in a human form. So this is what personification is: a thing or any idea which is given a human ability. Few examples here. Opportunity knocks. The wind whispered through the trees. Time creeps on you. The leaves danced their way through the lawn. So you can see the opportunity here is given the human ability to knock. Wind here is given the ability to whisper, and time here is given the ability to creep. The leaves here are dancing, which is again a human ability. So all these four sentences become personification, and all these sentences have been personified. The purpose of personification. So personification, it is not merely a decorative device, but it serves the purpose of giving deeper meanings to literary texts, and it is writers and poets, they rely on personification, so their nature and action are understood in a better way. So it also adds vividness to expression. We also look at the world from a human perspective, brings inanimate objects to life, and encourages to develop a perspective that is new as well as creative. And it is easy for us to relate something that is human and that is not human and which possesses a human trait. So it becomes more lively and vivid and emphatic to read and understand all these things, and which becomes an example of personification. Here we have few examples again. The flowers danced and the gentle breeze. So the flowers are given here the ability to dance, and the breeze here been here given gentleness, which is a human attribute. Time and tide waits for nothing. So the waiting, which is a human ability, is given to time and tide. The fire swallowed the entire forest. So what it means is that there was fire in an entire forest and everything got burned, but it would have sounded flat and boring if we just said there was a fire. There was a fire in the forest and nothing is left, everything's burned, and it really sounds better and much expressive when we see the fire swallowed the entire forest. So this is why we have to use figures of speech to make it more presentable. The first rays of the morning tiptoed through the meadow. She did not realize the opportunity was knocking at her door. So these all sentences have been personified as they have been given the human ability to act or to dance, or the gentleness with the ability to wait, to swallow, to tiptoe, and to knock. So these all sentences have been personified. So these are a few examples of personification, and let's see what we have for the test. You can pause the video. Let's begin. You have to figure out which of the following are the correct example of personification. Let's read them. The car complains as the key was turned. So the complaining of the key is a human ability given to a non-human thing. So it makes it a personification. So this makes it the sentence personified. Rita heard the last piece of pie calling her. So the calling of the pie. The pie is not a non-human thing, which is given a human ability to call someone. So this sentence again becomes a personification. My alarm clock yells at me every morning. So the yelling of the alarm clock, again it makes it a personification. Lightning danced across the sky. So the dancing of the light. The wind howled at the night. So this is not an example of personification. So because the winds they howl. So here we are with hyperbole. So to begin with, let me tell you that hyperbole is all about exaggeration. So when we exaggerate a thing, it becomes a hyperbole. So you just remember always, for just like as I said for homonym, remember homonyms are like twins, and for homophones I said to remember that homophones are same sound, similar sound. And for hyperbole, I just recommend you all to remember that hyperbole is exaggeration. So you will remember and understand what hyperbole is when you remember the word exaggeration. Hyperbole is all about exaggeration. So let's read all these statements. These two are definition to explain what hyperbole is. Exaggerated statements or claims not meant to be taken literally. So here let's read these examples. He's got a tons of video games. No one is going to get a ton of video games, and even if anyone does, no one is going to weigh them. So it is an exaggeration. It becomes hyperbole. So exaggeration of ideas for the sake of emphasis, to put emphasis on the idea that he has a lot of video games. So we say he has got a tons of video games. You could have knocked me over with a feather. No one can knock anyone over with a feather, because a feather is the lightest thing possible, and it is impossible to knock anyone over with a feather. Her brain is the size of a pea. I'm sorry, the word pea has to be here. So no one's brain size could be a size of a pea, because pea is very small and no one's brain could be as small as a pea. Let's read few more examples of hyperbole. She cried so long that she made a lake. So literally no one can cry so much to make a lake. And I am so hungry I could eat you. Again, this is a false statement. So no one is that hungry that he would eat anyone else. So let's read this example. These shoes take 1,000,000 years to put on, and after 1,000,000 years nothing is left. So it is not really possible. All these sentences are exaggerations, and I really hope that you all have used hyperbole in your daily life to exaggerate anything. Like to remind someone, you could say, I have reminded you about this 1,000 times. So these are few examples of hyperbole. It is basically exaggeration. So here we are with the purpose of exaggeration. Generally it is to emphasize for an amusing effect. However in literature it has more serious implication, to complete contrast. So this that is to in complete contrast, and also to catch readers' attention. So let's read these purpose of hyperbole. Writers and poets makes common human feelings remarkable and intense to such an extent that they do not remain ordinary. That is, they exaggerate it. And when one thing is described with an overstatement, and the other thing is presented normally, the striking contrast is developed. So it catches the reader's attention, and to put emphasis on few facts or effects. So here are a few more examples of exaggeration, that is hyperbole. Carrie never stops talking. It is impossible. No one can talk forever. I have told you 1,000,000 of times not to do that. No one can remind someone 1,000,000 of time. People will lose their temper in reminding them even for 50 times. So this is again an exaggeration. It will only take 2 seconds to get there. It is again impossible. No one can reach any place in 2 seconds. The mall is large enough to have its own zip code. Again, this is an exaggeration. It is too hot. You could fry an egg on the sidewalk. Again, this is an exaggeration. No one would fry an egg by the sidewalk. All these are impossible statements, but presented that they look real, and because of the exaggeration. So here's the test. You have to find out which of the following are the correct examples of hyperbole. You can pause the video. Let's begin, and also let's spot what is the exaggeration here. I am going to stay awake all night and catch Santa Claus. He is working hard for the examination. He knows everything about math. My dad is always working. So in this video, this thing is an exaggeration this is not really an exaggeration in today's generation, but it can be considered as an example of hyperbole, because to catch Santa Claus is an exaggeration. He is working hard for the examination. We see no exaggeration here. Everyone does work hard for the examination. He knows everything about math, so there might be something that he misses about math or does not know about math. So this is an exaggeration. Knowing everything about maths is an exaggeration. My dad is always working. Again, this is a false statement and exaggeration, because no one works forever. He must be taking break while during the middle of something. So that's all for hyperbole. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any queries, do put them down in the comment section. I would love to answer them. And don't forget to rate, review, recommend and share. Thank you.